Good morning. Time now for your weather now. Just a couple minutes past the top of the 11 o'clock hour. Wishing you an awesome Friday Eve, Thursday, and you know what? So far, we're a little bit drier than we have been the past several days. Safe Touch Security First Alert Live Radar. Actually not seeing much in the way of shower activity at all right now across the coastal empire, the low country. Some shower activity, Colleton County, Charleston County, Dorchester County, South Carolina, outside of our area. But as we go through the day, we're going to add a little more heat to the atmosphere. Remember, we're warming up into the upper 80s today to near 90, and that's going to help set off some thunder shower activity. But I still do think today a little bit drier than it was yesterday. This is a forecast model, 11 a.m. right now. I'm going to walk you through this as we get viewers. Want to thank you all for joining WTOC News app, weather app, Roku device, Amazon Fire, streaming on YouTube maybe, and of course on social media. Perhaps the most conversational way that you can watch this WTOC TV. That's going to be the Twitter account. Actually, that's the Facebook page. WTOC 11 is the Twitter account. So going to those platforms, I'm going to retweet the stream now. I'm going to go on Facebook and answer some questions and watch those questions come in. And you can go to both of those platforms and ask any questions or thoughts, or if you want to express any weather concerns you may have. So now that you're aware of how this is going to work, if this is your first time joining in, going over to this forecast model, letting the Facebook page load, going to let a few more questions come in. I want to take you hour by hour. Here we go. 2, 3. Some shower and maybe some thunder shower activity in here, but this is a lot quieter than it was yesterday. And I was running errands earlier this morning. Clouds not quite as tall, vertically as they were this time yesterday morning, so they're not growing quite as significantly or as quickly as they were yesterday. I think the signal is there for yes, we're going to see some more thunder shower activity, but generally a little bit less than what we have been seeing. Going into the late afternoon, the early evening, we try to get a little sea breeze boundary forming. That's going to be inland from the beaches. So if you have beach plans today, you may get a little shower depending on, which beach you're on. But I think in general today a decent beach day, and tomorrow a decent beach day as well. And then we're going to see that maybe flare up just a little bit right before sunset as the sea breeze moves inland, tries to collide with some ongoing shower activity, maybe briefly allowing it to become a little heavier here. And then we're quiet. We're going to go into the evening hours. Everything kind of diminishes. Early tomorrow morning, I can't rule out an isolated shower on your Friday, though this forecast model, this computer run, a little bit drier tomorrow and a little bit drier than we were today when we had that shower move through the city of Savannah. And then again tomorrow at noon, it's a sea breeze. It's purely a sea breeze driven kind of environment. Now what I mean by that is, the earth is heating. We're having these hot temperatures. The land heats much quicker than the water, and you tend to get a little boundary setting up. Think like a mini cold front as you get to the warmer time of day, and then that moves inland, trying to balance things out here. Nature is simply wonderful in that respect, and you tend to get showers and thunderstorms developing along it. And I don't think the sea breeze is going to make it too far inland before it kind of peters out tomorrow. So it does look like tomorrow may actually have a slightly greater chance of rain than today. So we may have to do a little bit of adjusting, but I still think both days are going to be scattered, and going into the weekend, even less rain and more heat to talk about. So let's go to Facebook, see what questions, comments, concerns may be coming in right now. Not too much to be worried about in the forecast, that's for sure. Ron wants to know about the Savannah Bananas game. We did this forecast this morning, the news at daybreak, and I'll show you here again. Again, it's looking pretty decent out there. Hour by hour, 6 to 7 p.m., you're finding your seat. This is going to be your greatest shot at rain. Can't rule out an isolated shower, but it's not a washout. And I think generally drier than it was yesterday evening. When you look at radar coming up this evening versus what we saw yesterday evening, you'll notice there's going to be less rain on radar. So not a bad Savannah Bananas forecast at all, but, there is that isolated rain chance through 6-7. Let's see. Connie, thank you for watching. Patrick, thank you for watching. Yes, Susan, looking mostly dry for the Bananas game tonight, but there will be isolated showers around. Hey, Josh. Hey, Em. Hey, Barbara. Good morning to you. Good morning, Josh. Barbara, again, everyone's commenting here. Thank you for joining in on this Weather Now digital conversation. 7-day forecast. Loading this up, and I posted this on my Facebook page this morning, WTOC Cutter Martin. I'm not fully believing it just yet, but in your 7-day forecast, we're actually going to pull some drier air in here next week, it looks like. depending on how far south that cold front makes it. Now, it's not going to be cold behind it, but that's the definition. There's no such thing as a cool front. There's no such thing as a relatively cool or cold front. It's just a cold front by definition, but of course we're not going to get cold behind it. We'll be in the upper 80s Tuesday, upper 80s Wednesday, and maybe back into the 60s at night. And when you see numbers, overnight lows drop from the 70s to the 60s this time of year, you know when you cool into the 60s, there's a little bit of drier air involved, at least compared to what we're feeling now. Dew points in the mid 70s, pretty muggy outside, but we may actually, some data indicates that it gets even drier and a little bit cooler than this. So it all depends on how far south that cold front makes it. Not going to guarantee that it pushes through, but I posted a little bit more about it on my WTOC Cutter Martin Facebook page. Feel free to head on over there, check it out. I'll bring the 7-day forecast back up in a moment, but first I want to let you know how warm it is already. This was taken at about 10:53, just at the top of the 11 o'clock hour or near that time, and widespread lower 80s already. And taking you outside right now with our WTOC Beaufort Memorial Sky Cam, notice a mix of sun and clouds. Some of the clouds growing a little bit out there, but really a gorgeous shot at that location. Not seeing any rain or any obvious signs of rain within that camera shot. I do want to bring you back over to radar here, show you where we do have a few showers falling, and that's actually going to be towards the Charleston Metro. So if you're traveling up an I-95 or the Charleston Highway 17 today, there are a smattering of isolated to widely scattered showers here. And an interesting tidbit, the airport in Charleston, North Charleston, is closing in on its wettest ever May. And they may break that today. Again, we're running out of time here, today being the 31st, but they may reach that record. Savannah, I know it's been wet, but officially the airport nowhere near that top threshold there, but definitely a wetter May. We've actually made some pretty good strides in recovering from the ongoing drought. And today, being Thursday, we'll get a new drought monitor in. It actually looks like we have had the drought monitor in now, and there is no abnormally dry conditions. We are completely removed from the drought. You can see the scale here. I'm going to step out of the way at the bottom. Maybe a little hard to read. A few updates ago, we were still in severe drought, portions of the area. Then we were lowered to abnormally dry. And with today's update, we have no drought conditions or even abnormally dry conditions per the drought monitor across the coastal empire and the low country. So we've really made progress here. And soil moisture content increasing, rivers, reservoirs, of course, increasing. In fact, I want to bring you over to another thing we're tracking. You know, this has to do with the rain that we've been having, is a river flood warning in effect for the Savannah River near Clio. And I've been updating you on this every morning for the past few mornings, Z News at daybreak, and the flood warning continues. And looking like minor flooding is still underway here, expected to rise, and this may need to be updated a little bit. I'm going to go back in and reread what they put in here, but maybe 12.7, 12.8 feet by tomorrow afternoon. Right now, the only impact is going to be backyards along Tom Goeth Road, but if we can get it up to 13 or so, 13.5 or so feet, that could put a foot of water over the Tom Goeth Road after the pavement ends, per the National Weather Service office. So this is going to be concerning far eastern Screven County, far eastern Effingham County, far western Hampton County, far northwestern Jasper County. So we're keeping an eye on this. Minor flooding along the Savannah River near Clio. No other significant issues here. And further down the Savannah River near Savannah and River Street, we're not expecting any issues there. Tegan, you're funny. Very funny. The tides today are running near astronomical levels. And that information is found at WTOC.com. And we actually had it in the ticker this morning running at the bottom of the screen. So hopefully everyone's enjoying their day. We just got so many comedians in our live feed right now. Wishing you all an awesome day, and you can keep spreading this wonderful humor to everybody. You're welcome, Charlotte. Thank you for watching. Ron, thank you. Ryan, are we watching for any more hurricanes? No, not right now. We are actually pretty quiet, and I don't foresee anything, at least, in an organized sense, or nothing that we can really pinpoint really far out across the Atlantic Basin, Gulf of Mexico, and this is still loading up. But it looks like the data, let's make sure the data is on here. Going to go back. It looks like we may have lost some of our satellite data here, but There are clouds out here, but we are quiet. Gulf of Mexico, Caribbean, southwestern Atlantic, the entire Atlantic basin. No organized tropical activity right now, Ryan. And within the next 7 to 10 days, really not expecting anything. Of course, the time of the year where we're going to be watching the southwestern Gulf and the western Caribbean, and we will, of course, be doing so. In fact, on that note, June climatology, tropically speaking, you typically have 2 hot spots, western half of the Gulf, also the Caribbean, and 2 typical tracks with those systems, one into the western Gulf of Mexico and another through Florida and on into the southwestern Atlantic. So that's kind of the hot spot, historically speaking, this time of year, but nothing on the way right now. Janice says it's nice and sunny in Brunswick. That's awesome. Glad to hear that. Y'all have certainly been getting your fair share of rain the past few weeks, and I do a couple weeks, really. And I'll give you a radar update here, Janice, just scrolling up on my weather computer. And let's load this up here. Beaufort County saw some shower activity. Savannah, Chatham metro area saw rain earlier this morning. But taking you down to Brunswick right now, pretty dry out there. Noticing clouds probably building, especially just to the east of I-95. But you can see down here we are pretty dry. Nothing going on. St. Simons, Glencoe, Brunswick, Darien, Thalman, Georgetown. Everything's pretty good down here. No major issues. And hopefully that trend will continue. Ryan, you're welcome. Graceful Marie, thank you for watching. And let's hope everybody gets out and enjoys the awesome weather today. Final check of that 7-day forecast. Time now 11:12. I'm going to leave you with this. And I want to remind you, while this is loading up here over the next 7 days, we do have a rain chance just about every day, maybe a little drier heading into next week. But we do have a chance for scattered showers, thunderstorms the next couple of days, and you can watch this rain develop, any showers, thunder showers, and also get an updated hour-by-hour forecast with the WTOC weather app. So I suggest you go out, enjoy the beach the next couple of days. We're going to be sending out updated videos to the WTOC weather app as we always do, morning, noon, and night, and you can watch as stuff develops here with the WTOC weather app's radar. So simply, if you're at the beach, you see a dark cloud bubbling up very near your location as you're laying in the sand, just watch what's going on there in the WTOC weather app, and you should be good to go. So on that note, Chief Meteorologist Dave Turley is here, and he's going to be fine-tuning the forecast. I'm now 11:13, going to be bringing you the latest forecast information, and if you are in the office, you can also use the weather app to stream the news at noon. If we don't catch you at noon, we will see you tonight, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 11. Have a good afternoon.